The wrestling world is reeling from a tragedy so profound that it has shaken the very foundation of the industry, as news spreads that Paul Heyman, one of the most innovative minds and magnetic personalities in sports entertainment history, has tragically passed away following a car accident that has left both fans and colleagues in shock and disbelief. The circumstances of the accident remain largely unclear at this time, with early reports indicating that authorities are still piecing together the exact chain of events that led to the devastating crash, but regardless of the details, the reality of Heyman's loss is already sending ripples through WWE and the global wrestling community. This is not just the loss of an on-screen personality or a behind-the-scenes creative force. This is the loss of a man whose influence touched every aspect of the business, from shaping the careers of its most iconic superstars to redefining how wrestling could connect emotionally and intellectually with audiences around the world. For decades, Heyman stood as a bridge between eras, starting as a young, fearless mind in the industry who challenged traditions, moved through his revolutionary work in ECW where he championed the underdog and embraced an edgier, more visceral form of storytelling, and later evolving into one of WWE's most trusted creative forces and most captivating on-screen characters, whose words could electrify a crowd or tear a hero to pieces in mere seconds. Triple H, WWE's chief content officer and one of Heyman's closest friends and most frequent collaborators, is said to be deeply, personally affected by this sudden loss, as their relationship extended far beyond the professional realm. It was a bond forged in mutual respect, creative trust, and countless hours spent crafting the moments that defined entire eras of WWE programming. Heyman's insight had often been a guiding force in Triple H's own rise, offering perspectives that were bold, unfiltered, and often ahead of their time, and together the two men pushed WWE's creative boundaries in ways that left lasting impressions on fans and performers alike. In the days to come, Triple H will almost certainly release a statement that not only addresses his grief but also shares intimate anecdotes from their friendship, stories that paint a fuller picture of Heyman's wit, his razor-sharp mind, and his relentless drive to make professional wrestling feel real, urgent, and alive. As the chief architect of WWE's creative vision, Triple H will also have to confront the daunting challenge of moving forward without one of his most trusted allies, which will inevitably involve discussions about how to honor Heyman's extraordinary legacy through on-air tributes, dedicated programming, and perhaps even long-term initiatives designed to preserve the principles Heyman stood for. WWE's loss is immeasurable because Heyman was not just another voice in the room, he was the kind of mind whose perspective could completely alter the course of a storyline or elevate an overlooked talent into superstardom. His influence is etched into the careers of countless superstars, Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and many others, who credit Heyman with giving them the platform, the confidence, and the creative freedom to succeed at the highest level. He had an uncanny ability to see what others could not, to recognize potential in its rawest form, and to draw out the essence of a performer in ways that made them unforgettable. His mentorship extended beyond crafting promos and angles. He taught wrestlers how to believe in themselves, how to embrace their flaws, and how to turn those imperfections into the very things that made them stand out. Without his presence, WWE's creative meetings will feel emptier, lacking that sharp-edged honesty and unpredictable spark he brought to every discussion. But amid this grief, there is also reflection, a chance to celebrate the man whose contributions reshaped wrestling forever. Paul Heyman was more than a manager, more than a promoter, more than a creative mind. He was a storyteller of the highest order, someone who understood that wrestling was not just about moves and matches, but about emotion, connection, and the timeless struggle between hero and villain. His work in ECW set a standard for authenticity and risk-taking that still resonates today, and his WWE tenure saw him seamlessly adapt to new eras while maintaining his signature touch. The WWE Universe will no doubt unite in the coming days to honor him, with video tributes chronicling his decades of groundbreaking work, emotional speeches from those he mentored, and perhaps even a dedicated event celebrating his life and career. Wrestlers past and present will share their stories, some hilarious, some heartfelt, of how Heyman's belief in them changed the trajectory of their lives. For Triple H and the WWE leadership, this is a moment not just of mourning, but of responsibility, to ensure that Heyman's influence endures, to carry forward his philosophy that wrestling at its best is an art form capable of moving people to cheers, tears, and gasps of disbelief. For fans, this is a time to look back on the moments Heyman gave us, from unforgettable promos to shocking turns, and to recognize that his voice, his style, and his vision were integral threads in the fabric of modern wrestling. And while his absence will be felt every single day in WWE's creative process, his legacy will remain, not as a shadow of what was lost, but as a guiding light for what wrestling can still be. Paul Heyman's passing is a devastating blow to the sport, but his stories, his teachings, and his indomitable spirit will live on, inspiring the next generation of performers, writers, and dreamers to carry forward the belief that in wrestling, as in life, the most powerful thing you can ever do is make people feel something real. The wrestling community has been left stunned and heartbroken by the devastating news that Paul Heyman, one of the most influential, creative, and respected minds in professional wrestling history, has tragically passed away in a car accident, a loss that has sent shock waves through WWE and beyond, touching every corner of the industry he helped shape. While details about the accident remain scarce and the full circumstances are still under investigation, the enormity of this tragedy is undeniable, and its impact is already being felt on a deeply personal and professional level. Triple H, WWE's chief content officer and one of Heyman's closest friends and longtime collaborators, is believed to be profoundly shaken by the news, as their relationship extended far beyond the creative boardroom or televised angles. It was rooted in years of mutual respect, shared battles to push WWE storytelling to new heights, and private moments where Heyman's insight, humor, and honesty became invaluable. Heyman's role in Triple H's rise within WWE was significant, and the two often found themselves aligned in both vision and execution when it came to building stars and crafting unforgettable moments. In the wake of this tragedy, Triple H is expected to release a deeply heartfelt statement, not just offering condolences, but likely sharing personal memories that capture Heyman's wit, sharp mind, and boundless passion for the business, while also outlining WWE's plans to honor his legacy. These tributes may include special segments, on-air video packages, and perhaps even a long-term initiative to ensure that Heyman's contributions continue to inspire future generations. The loss of Paul Heyman leaves a void in WWE that will be nearly impossible to fill. His ability to connect with audiences, identify raw talent, and transform ideas into compelling, emotionally charged storylines made him a once-in-a-generation figure in wrestling's creative sphere. From guiding ECW into cult legend status, to reinventing himself in WWE as a manager, advocate, and creative strategist, Heyman's fingerprints can be found on the careers of countless superstars, many of whom credit him with giving them the platform, confidence, and storytelling foundation needed to reach greatness. His influence extended beyond on-screen work, as he often mentored talent behind the scenes, offering brutally honest advice, crafting promos that blurred the line between fiction and reality, and challenging wrestlers to embrace their characters on a deeper, more authentic level. While WWE will inevitably have to reorganize aspects of its creative structure, the absence of Heyman's voice will be felt in every meeting, every script rewrite, and every production discussion. Yet even in grief, there is cause for reflection and celebration. Heyman's vision transformed the way wrestling narratives were told, and his bold, often controversial creative risks paved the way for modern wrestling's emotional complexity and unpredictability. As the WWE universe mourns together, fans, friends, and colleagues will unite in honoring a man whose passion for the business was matched only by his loyalty to those he believed in. Triple H's reaction, along with tributes from wrestlers past and present, will no doubt reflect the deep respect and love Heyman commanded. In this difficult time, the focus will not only be on mourning his passing, but also on ensuring that his legacy continues to influence the art and spirit of professional wrestling for decades to come. For fans and industry insiders alike, the message is clear: Paul Heyman may be gone, but the stories he told, the stars he helped create, and the indelible mark he left on the wrestling world will endure forever, standing as a testament to his genius and his unwavering belief that wrestling, at its core, is about telling human stories in the most unforgettable way possible.